Kevin De Bruyne, an outstanding midfielder, is about to join the army of strategist Antonio Conte next season. At first glance, they appear to come from entirely different footballing worlds. One thrives on freedom and instinct, while the other demands control, discipline, and exact execution. So when rumors began circulating about De Bruyne potentially joining Napoli under Conte's leadership, the footballing world didn't just react with surprise. Instead, it began to speculate. Could it actually be the beginning of something transformative? Could one of football's most intelligent and free-flowing playmakers truly adapt, perhaps even thrive within one of Europe's most demanding tactical systems? This isn't just a story about a transfer. It's a deeper tale of adaptation, tension, evolution, and, potentially, brilliance. Wherever Antonio Conte has gone, his tactical principles have followed. He is not the kind of manager who tailors his philosophy around individual players. Rather, he builds a collective unit that operates according to his vision. That vision is anchored in structure. It is built on clarity, intensity, and relentless work ethic. A three-man defense forms the foundation of Conte's football. From that foundation, he constructs teams that are compact in defense, ruthless in transitions, and aggressive in pressing. At Napoli, that foundation will remain unchanged. We can expect either the 3-5-2 or the 3-4-2-1 formation to dominate the tactical landscape. Yet these are not mere numbers, they represent deeply ingrained philosophies. In Conte's setup, the wing-backs are essential. They are required to cover enormous ground, offering both defensive width and attacking thrust. Meanwhile, the midfielders must be multifaceted. They press, they recover, and they launch swift counterattacks. Among those midfielders, one role is absolutely crucial: the mezzala. This player, operating on the right side of midfield, must be a box-to-box threat, combining creativity with work rate and tactical awareness. In his time at Inter, Conte relied heavily on Niccolò Barella to perform this role. Barella was the engine, the spark, and the glue all at once. Now, at Napoli, a similar profile is needed. So, who better to fill that void than Kevin De Bruyne? Last season, Napoli looked disjointed in midfield. Their build-up was often sluggish, and their attacks predictable. The wide areas were overused, while central creativity was lacking. As a result, Napoli frequently struggled to control games or break down compact defensive blocks. What they lacked was a connector player who could stitch together transitions, spot vertical opportunities, and dictate the tempo from within crowded spaces. Kevin De Bruyne brings all of that and more. He doesn't just see passes, he creates the conditions for them. His movements are deliberate and intelligent. He drifts into half spaces where pressure is minimal but options are plentiful. He is one of the few players who truly understands how to manipulate defensive structures with timing alone. Moreover, his passing range is elite. Whether it's an early cross, a disguised through ball, or a quick switch to the far side, De Bruyne can execute all of it with precision. In a 3-5-2 setup, he fits naturally as the right-sided mezzala, just as Barella once did. In a 3-4-2-1, he becomes a roaming playmaker with the freedom to operate between lines and feed the front three. In both systems, he doesn't merely fill a position, he transforms it. To understand the magnitude of what De Bruyne could bring, let's revisit some key moments. Against Leicester City, he drifted into the half space, attracted defenders, and delivered a perfectly weighted through ball that Holland finished with ease. Against Arsenal, his high press created a turnover, and he immediately launched into the final third to create danger. These aren't just highlights. They are blueprints, evidence of how De Bruyne's intelligence and work ethic can tilt matches in his team's favor. During Euro 2020, Belgium operated in a 3-5-2 system. De Bruyne, playing on the right of midfield, averaged over 4 key passes per 90 minutes. His performances were not just statistically strong, they were tactically profound. Now contrast that with Napoli's recent performances. While Lobotka was tidy in possession, he rarely took risks. Zelensky, despite his talent, has since moved to Inter Milan. Zambo Anguissa brings energy but lacks vision for the end product. Clearly, Napoli is missing a brain in midfield, someone who can dictate the rhythm while creating openings in tight spaces. De Bruyne is not just a candidate, he is the ideal fit. However, integrating him will not be without obstacles. Firstly, there is the issue of age and physical intensity. De Bruyne is now 33, and while his intelligence hasn't waned, his body has taken a toll from years of high-level football. Conte's system, meanwhile, demands constant motion. Midfielders are expected to press, drop deep, and sprint forward often in the same sequence. Can De Bruyne realistically play 60 or 70 minutes at that intensity every week? Or will Conte need to manage his minutes more carefully, perhaps tailoring training and match roles to maximize output while minimizing risk? Then there is the matter of creative dependency. If De Bruyne becomes Napoli's only source of inspiration, opponents will quickly find ways to isolate him. So, who steps up to support him? Raspadori has intelligence and movement, but lacks De Bruyne's range and vision. Lobotka can recycle possession, but needs to be braver in advancing the ball. Matteo Politano, perhaps the best fit for Kevin, has good passing and vision, while also covering the flanks and playing as a striker. Therefore, for De Bruyne to truly flourish, Napoli must develop as a unit, not just in terms of structure, but in chemistry and support. Yet, if these pieces fall into place, the result could be magnificent. Imagine a Napoli midfield featuring Lobotka sitting deep, Politano covering ground, and De Bruyne orchestrating the tempo from the right. Wingbacks stretch play wide. The strikers started running without the ball and creating more defensive breaks. Lukaku stays on the shoulder of the last defender, always ready for the killer pass. In this setup, De Bruyne has space, options, and a platform. His genius can shine within a structure designed not to limit, but to amplify him. Conte has done this before. With Christian Eriksen at Inter, he began with skepticism. But as the season progressed, he adapted, giving Eriksen the freedom to influence games from deeper areas. If he could do it then, he can do it now, especially for a player of De Bruyne's caliber. For Kevin De Bruyne, this would represent a new chapter, not one defined by trophies already won or systems already mastered, but by the challenge of something unfamiliar. If he joins Napoli, he will be asked to adapt not just to a new league or a new coach, but to a new identity as a footballer. Will Conte bend just enough to unleash De Bruyne's brilliance? Will De Bruyne, at 33, rise once again as a world-class midfielder in Napoli? Let me know your ideas in comment. If you find this video interesting, please support us with a like and subscribe to Stone Stories channel now to follow more football stories.